guys, Red Ninja here with Smiley Ninja, Ninjas in Love, guys. As you guys know, it is V-Day. I don't like saying it out loud because it's a day that is really hard for me. It's just kind of emotional thing to talk about. It's personal and really big deal. I got this as a gift from my mom last year on Valentine's Day. Well, the day before she left on her trip, so not exactly on Valentine's Day. But I got the shirt for Valentine's Day from my mom. What I'm going to talk to you guys about is something medical-wise. And something that happened to me last year of 2/14 in February. And it started on Valentine's Day. I don't like calling Valentine's Day anymore because a lot of people hate this day. And, you know, a lot of people don't get the attention and love that other people get to experience. I mean, I have to say that this has been a very rough road. So I'm going to start with the beginning. It's kind of a long story, so hang tight. So it all started Valentine's Day when I woke up. I was fine. And what happened to me is I went out and hung out with my friend for Valentine's Day since I didn't have a boyfriend at the time. And I came back, and late that evening, I got off my mom's bed because I'm babysitting my dog while my parents are out of town. And basically what happened was when I got off the bed, my foot was numb. I thought I was just asleep, and it turns out it was not just asleep. It was numb to my leg as well, and my balance was way off. This is really hard for me to talk about. Sorry, guys. I have to say, I'm grateful. Very grateful for being alive today, and sorry, told you it's gonna get emotional. Very happy that I have so many supporters, and of course this guy wasn't exactly part of it right away, not till after. I have to thank my mom for holding my hand in the scariest time of my entire life. And my dad for going out and carrying me outside with no shoes on when it was winter. You probably want to know how that all happened. Well, I'm going to tell you. What happened to me was more than scary. It was a while before my parents found out because they were on vacation and all I could do was email, and I was afraid to tell them. Valentine's Day, the next day morning, I woke up and I wasn't doing so great. My leg was hurting. I knew something was wrong because my right leg and my left leg weren't the same temperature. So my right leg was cold, like freezing cold, guys. This is like unbelievable cold to the point where your circulation feels like cut off. And my left leg was perfectly normal. So basically I knew something wasn't right because that made no sense. And I got up because my sister and her used to be, let's just call him a friend. Used to be guy. They're friends right now. I would have to say Stefan. went to go get Valentine's Day dinner for me and my sister. It was his treat, and I was like, oh, that was nice. And as they came home and they said the food was here, I got up and my balance was horrible. I almost felt like I wasn't able to hold myself up. And basically, when I went down the stairs, I could feel myself not able to hold myself up. Like I had to sit down on the stairs and go down with my butt going down. So I knew something was wrong, and I was in a lot of pain. I ate my food and went upstairs and relaxed, and then thought maybe, oh, this is just temporary, it's gonna go away. Well, I soon realized this was nothing good. It wasn't going away. I started crying, and my sister came upstairs and said, try taking a hot bath. So I did as she suggested. I got in the bath, but the problem was when I was in the warm bath, everybody loves warm baths, but this bath was painful. I started crying so hard that I couldn't keep my leg a certain way. I had to elevate it straight like this. And I had to hold my foot up like that. And that's when my sister could hear me crying and screaming that it was so painful. She said, are you okay? And I was like, no. And as I tried to get out of the tub, I fell on my mom's bathroom floor, and I couldn't pick myself up. And I had to crawl back to my mom's bed, which was really painful and difficult. And the next morning I woke up not very good, because the night before I really didn't sleep. And it was really difficult because I couldn't put my leg in a certain position. I had to keep it just straight, and my foot wasn't getting warm, even with a nice warm fuzzy sock on. That didn't even do any good. Hot water didn't do any good. So I had to put a heating pad laying on my foot. And that did me a little comfort, but it wasn't fixing the problem. So the next morning I woke up feeling like crap, and I felt worse. My leg was weaker than ever. I was in a lot of pain. And my sister's friend, Stefan, suggested that the night before, if I wasn't doing very well the next morning, that we would take me in and get me checked out. So basically, we went out for breakfast at IHOP. It was practically a blizzard, so this was probably the most horrible time for something bad to happen to a person. I was sitting at IHOP waiting for my food, and I put my head down, and because I was very stressed out with what to do with my work. Yes, American Border Kettles, you suck. I needed to find somebody to work on call for me. I was on call for that day, and there were new people, and I wasn't sure if I could ask them if I could have them do my part because they were in training. And this lovely man was already working. And so it was frustrating because lots of people would not answer the call, would not answer the text when this was a big urgency to get a hold of somebody, since I knew I wasn't able to work in the condition I was in. So after breakfast, we headed to urgent care. Unfortunately, it was the wrong urgent care. My bad. And when we got there, I waited for, I don't know,
a long time. I was sitting there pain. There were sick people everywhere, and it was awful. And finally, a nurse came and got me and my sister, because she was family. So family can only go inside with you. And they took my information and all that, and then they brought me back to sit in the waiting room a little longer. Then they finally got me and took me to a room. And the doctor came in, checked me out. Basically what he did, I can try to tell you what he did. He had me change into shorts, and he basically had my leg, he did some tests, like he used like something to brush against my leg to see if I could feel it, and I could feel it, because it was sharp. So that was good news that it wasn't totally paralyzed, and I'll get to the paralyzed part in a minute. I'm gonna stop this video for a minute. And the doctor said I need to go talk to a colleague. I need to go phone call them about your symptoms. And I was getting very nervous because he said neural, and I had no idea what that, he was talking in doctor tone, and I was just like, I have no idea what his words mean. I have no idea what he's saying. So that was really scaring me a lot when he said specialist. And he came back and said that he had a paper in his hands, and it said some horrible, scary conditions that I could possibly have. And sorry, a couple of them were, he thought I might have MS disease. If you don't know what that is, you need to look it up, because I can't really explain this on camera. I don't know exactly all about it either. I just know it's really horrible, and you can die from it and be paralyzed for a long time and all that stuff. Just, yeah. And disc disease, and I possibly have Raynaud's disease. And I'll get to Raynaud's disease later in the video of explaining all this. So he suggested I see my physician and get a referral to a neurologist. And that's how this man came into my life. So as soon as I got home, I texted Simon if he was able to talk, because he was working. I didn't know when he got off. And I talked to him about the neurologist, and I'll explain more about that, about him later. But this is about me. So I texted Simon talking about what is a neurologist and stuff, and he told me it's basically a brain doctor, and I freaked out. I started looking up stuff and freaking myself out. But I also started looking up the symptoms that I possibly could, or the diseases I possibly could have. And I cried, and I got so terrified. I just wanted my mom to come home. Well, in some sense, I didn't want her to come home, because I didn't want her to get mad at me for what I did. So before I was able to see my doctor, let's get to the part of my symptoms transferring to a further base. Okay, well, I can't remember the exact date, because I would have to look it up. But I had to go to the dentist, and my leg was far from okay. It was still numb, it was still tingly, it was still having pains. I couldn't move it well, and worst but not least, I started falling in the shower. And the hard part about this that was horrible was the part where my sister had to work, and she also had school. So I was home taking care of my dog. And so, like, when I fell, I couldn't get up and get out of the tub. It was really really horrific for me because I didn't really know what to do except for force myself to try and crawl out and do what I can to get out by myself because obviously I had no one else to get help with. So that was really frustrating and scary because I knew this was worse than I thought. It was getting worse. So anyways, let's get to the dentist appointment. When I was at the dentist, my leg laying back in the chair, it hurt. And later that night, my paralysis transferred all the way to my hip. And that was not good. And I'm glad my doctor's appointment was like super soon because I was getting more terrified. And I quit writing down symptoms that I was having for like days, months, so I can, or like days, because I can't really say months yet, to explain what's going on. I didn't really know how to explain it and the times that it happened. So that was really, really hard for me to do by myself, but I did it. So now I get to the doctor's appointment. The doctor's appointment came and I had a friend take me to the doctor because, or was it my sister that did? I don't remember. No, it was my neighbor. Sorry. My neighbor dropped me off at the doctor to see what was going on. Was I terrified? Of course. So my doctor, told me that he examined my leg, of course, and then he was concerned that, and he suggested a neurologist for me in the next week because my parents were coming home. So a couple of days later, things still weren't good, and I was getting worse. After that night of the doctor night, it gets worse. My right hand started having pain, like off and on in my hand over here. I'm sorry, I'm holding my phone camera, and sorry if it's really shaky. I'm hot. Sorry. And then it transferred all the way up my arm, so my arm was basically like this. And I didn't even realize I had been doing it. My mom noticed I was doing that lately, and I never even knew I was doing it, which was not really a good thing. Basically, my whole arm and hand were numb. I couldn't feel much. I mean, I could move it some, but it hurt at times, and my circulation felt like it was getting cut off, and it hurt pretty bad in the fingers mostly. And I was getting pain all the way up to my neck, too. So that was worse. So, anyways, parents came home. They were not mad. I did eventually tell them. They were only upset the part where next time call us and let us know. Because I went to the wrong urgent care. Yeah, that was bad. Now it gets a little bit more emotional for me to tell this part. Let's just say it came to be neurologist day. Both my parents came home with me. And I was scared. We got there. My mom had to help me walk to the waiting room. And we waited, and I finally was called. The nurse helped me get into the exam room. A doctor came in, and he wanted me to sit on this big, I don't even know how to explain this, you know, the doctor's offices with their big, tall table ones. It's kind of like at the OBGYN kind of thing. But anyways, let's get to the point. He started having me, actually, I'm going to have my boyfriend help me with this part.
What am I doing?
Okay. Basically, my doctor had me push like this, and my right leg basically could not hold, and he also had me do this with my right hand, and he told me to push as hard as I could, and when I did that, my right side was weak. Like, you couldn't feel anything come off. Like, my left leg was like perfectly normal. Like, it was strong, but my left foot, you couldn't even feel anything push, and I was pushing hard as I could. Then he had me do another test, which I did not like. He used a prickly thing, and he poked me right here, and he said, "Do you feel that?" And he took my sock off my right foot, and I didn't like that because it was so cold for my foot. But he poked me with that, and I felt it. And then he suggested me to try walking without holding onto the wall. He was standing really close right behind me in case I was going to fall, and that did not turn out very great because I was trying to walk straight without falling over, but I could not go straight without falling. I basically had to hold on to the wall, and then he helped me get back, and then he talked about it, and he said, "I am very concerned about your daughter's symptoms. We need to do more tests," which I knew was going to happen, and that's what I was afraid it was going to be, news like that. Basically, my first test to be scheduled was for the next day, and not a fun test either. So, it came test number 1 next day, and this test is called EMG test. I can explain a little bit. I think everybody's experience is a little bit different depending on person. Of course, it's depending on person. Everybody goes through things differently. My dad said it was going to be a piece of cake, and I'll get to that in a minute. So we get there. I'm exhausted, tired, in a lot of pain, because they couldn't give me any pain medication because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what to give me yet. This is going to be an emotional part for me. They take me into the treatment room. A nurse does this, and they have me lay down on this table. And they hook me up to these wires, and they put them on my right side because that's the problem. They put them on my arm, and they start shocking my muscles to check the muscles. I guess that's how I can explain it, but you can look it up on the internet as well. And then they shocked my leg. It does not feel good. It hurts. Okay, this next part of that test was horrific. The most horrible thing I think I've ever gone through. And luckily, I didn't have to go to a spine tap, thank God. But this test was very painful. I don't even know how to say it, but it was just horrible. Something I never want to go through again. Never. Basically what they do is, they start putting these little needles. They kind of look like something for acupuncture. Not even the same thing. Not even. They put the needle in. Oh my gosh, I can just feel it right now. And they put it in, and they hold it there, and then they use this chart thing and keep, look, and they move it while it's still in there. And then sometimes they have you, when it's, in there, they have you do this, and they have you hold it, and it hurts like crazy. When they got to my right leg, I was so brave in the beginning, but I could not hold on any longer. I started crying my eyes out and just screaming, and I wanted to kick her. I would kick her if I could have, but I didn't, because I couldn't. I guess I was so noisy that the doctor came in. I'm guessing I scared all the patients out of the building because it was practically empty when I got out. He came in saying he didn't want me tortured. So they had them stop the test, and I could not get off that table. But after that test, I was in so much pain. It was worse than what it was before. Like, my muscles were pissed off. They were hurting to the point where I could not stop crying for hours. It just made things way worse for me. So after that test was done, the next test was scheduled for the next day. And this one, my friend was able to come with me because I was like, Dad, you're such a liar. That test was horrific. He felt horrible. He felt absolutely horrible. He felt so bad. He was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, you didn't know. It's okay. And so my next test is called an MRI. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what that is because they do it in hospitals for fighting tumors and all that stuff. Basically, the MRI is going to be done on my spine, my brain, my neck, and my lower back, which is practically where the spine is. So I guess I could say all between those. MRI was 2 hours. When I got there, I was very tired and weak, and I had to be put in a wheelchair. Yay me. And my friend Bella came along to support me. And while we were waiting and I was sitting in the wheelchair, I was stressed and tired and mad and angry and frustrated and mostly terrified what's happening to me. So she hugged me close to her, and then the nurse, I should say a jerk nurse, took me, and she's like, oh, can you undress yourself? I'll leave you alone. I'm like, I'm paralyzed on my right side. I can't move very good, and you left me alone to change. Thanks, you're a great nurse. Not. So they let me listen to music. The test took 2 hours. I actually got to fall asleep. I didn't really fall asleep. It was too noisy. Yeah, and after that, here's where things get a lot more scarier. So, let's get to the part where it is March 1st. No, not March 1st, sorry. It's the night before March 1st. The night before March 1st, I had been getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I still was fighting my body. I still had no pain medication. If you are strong enough to handle this, it's really difficult. I don't think my body could fight, even though my brain was telling me to fight. I don't think my body could fight much longer. So, okay, this part gets a little more personal. Like, I'm going to give you more of an example than... Okay, no, I'll just tell you. I went into the bathroom, and I had to go, obviously. And I was sitting, and I honestly don't remember much about it because I started blacking out. That's how tired and weak I was. And I felt like I wasn't breathing. So my consciousness was in and out when I was sitting there. And all of a sudden I felt like I was like not there. It was actually a really weird feeling. But I actually pulled myself out of it. And I went downstairs because it was nighttime. And I told my dad, I think I'm getting worse. I think I'm getting worse. My dad said, go up to bed and get some rest. So I did. Next morning, March 1st, 2:14. Scariest day of my entire life changed in the hands of God. I woke up. I smelled breakfast. I was tired, weak, hadn't slept, in a lot of pain. I was paralyzed from my right side all the way. I ate breakfast, and then I felt like I don't feel so good. I felt like really tired and just wanted to go to sleep. So my mom carried my water up, and I forcefully pushed myself up the stairs. Up and down the stairs, actually. And then I got into my room and got inside my bed, and I was wearing this blue shirt that I really miss. My mom came in. She sat in my bed. She went through my hair like this, and I had my eyes water. And I said, "Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why is it me that has to go through all these scary health problems?" And my mom wiped my tears and said she loved me and that we're gonna get through this. We will figure this out. We just have to wait for the results. But my mom knew in her head that before the test results, things weren't gonna be looking good at all for me. I had been fighting for more than days, nights. You can only imagine what I was feeling. So my mom wanted to ask if I wanted to see her pictures from her trip. Well, I was too tired, and basically I said I'm gonna rest, but I didn't. I couldn't sleep. I was in too much pain, and I was too weak, and then my eyes started watering, and I started texting my friend Bella, and I said, "I think I'm getting worse. I think I'm getting worse." She wanted to stop by before she had to go to work, so I suggested breakfast with us in the morning, but she was running kind of late, and she said she was on her way, so I got up, went downstairs, got the stuff out, slowly but surely. As soon as I got the stuff out, I went and sat down on the couch. I started laying in my mom's arms. And this is where things get really crazy. I fell asleep into not normal sleep, deep sleep, like not able to wake up. And I could hear everything. I could hear everything around me. But my father could hear my breathing getting abnormal. It was like going really unnormal. I don't know how to explain it. I have a wheezing breathing issue that happens every once in a while with me. I have bruxism spasms and some asthma with that. Basically, my breathing started getting worse, and my dad whispered to my mom, "I think we should take her in." My mom says, "Let's just wait a little bit and see how she's doing." And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hear Bella walking in the door, but I didn't really know she was there. And then I hear her voice, and then my eyes open wide. And that's when things went to all hell's loose. My face was pale, white as death, and I couldn't breathe. I woke up, I don't know if I was coughing or choking. I couldn't breathe at all, like, and then I started crying because I couldn't breathe, and Bella could always stand there and not know what to do. She was so scared and terrified what was happening to her best friend. And then my mom's like, "Run! It's time!" My dad comes running down the stairs with his socks on, and my mom picks me up in a blanket, and she puts me in my dad's arms over his shoulder, and my sister and her friend Stefan come up the stairs and check to see what's going on. I can only see a little because I'm going in and out of consciousness. And my dad rushes me out the door, forgetting to put his shoes on.
In the middle of winter.
In the middle of the winter. That was probably the funniest part of this whole entire situation. Sorry, Dad. No offense. And so my dad is putting me in the back seat of his car, and he's telling me to stay awake, and I'm trying, but I'm going in and out like this, and like, am I able to breathe? My eyes are watering, and I'm very scared. I'm like, is this it? Is this time? Is it time to go? I wasn't thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. It happened so quick. My sister obviously she stood up and got the phones to my mom, and out the door my mom went. And Bella stayed in shock. She did eat breakfast while I was in the hospital. My dad rushes off to the hospital. My mom is trying to keep me awake, and she holds my head up because my head started going down like this, and I was wicked pale. My mom thought she was going to have to do CPR. The hospital, and here's another part of the story with my dad again. He pulls up in front of the ER. What does he forget to do? He forgets to put the car in ignition to park the car. So as he opens the door, the car is still slowly going. And my mom's like, "No, I'll do it." And my dad's like, "No, I'll do it." And so my dad takes me out of the car, runs me into the ER. They're in construction at this time, so he's kind of trying to figure out the door. And someone's like, "Do you need help?" and stuff. And I'm over his shoulder, like, fighting for my life. And my dad's like, "She's in respiratory distress. She's in respiratory distress." They put me on a chair, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm in a Grey's Anatomy episode. I'm on a gurney out of nowhere, and there's a bunch of doctors all around me, and they're rushing me back. And my dad follows, and then my mom follows. Of course, I don't see them right away because I'm being rushed back. And they have me sitting there for quite a bit without putting a mask on me right away because I couldn't breathe. Yeah, they suck. And, whoa! I'm sorry. And I couldn't breathe. They gave me asthma medicine, and they put a breathing mask on me, and that calmed my breathing down. And I do have pictures, because my dad knows I am a YouTuber vlogger and stuff, so I have to say I'm very lucky to be alive today. My heart rate was extra high. They had to put a heart monitor on me. I've never had that happen. I've had to have oxygen before, but I've never had to have a heart monitor. Of course, I've had IVs. I've had a bunch of them before. And they said my heart rate was really high, and more tests to go through. Yay! They gave me drugs to calm me down, like anxiety, and to help me sleep. So the first doctor I had was awful. My mom did not like him. Like, he was telling me, asking my name when I couldn't really speak, and he was just awful. Like, I was paralyzed. I really couldn't follow directions with all these drugs, and being paralyzed, I can't really move. So they wanted to do a scope to check to see if something was cutting my air supply off. They did a scope down my nose, and guess what? I was not asleep. I was awake. Was it comfortable? Hell no, it wasn't. It was painful as crap. And my mom helped because he was giving me instructions. I'm like, I can't even follow instructions right now. You're stupid. And so my mom helps, and then they take me for a chest x-ray. And then they take me for a CT scan. Everything turned out normal, but my heart rate was still very high. And here's where it gets scary again. I fall asleep. They let me rest. As I fall asleep, the doctor comes in, and I can hear everything around me while I'm asleep. I could hear my mom crying, and I could hear my father crying and holding my mom. My mom comes up to me and holds my hand, and she kisses me, and she puts a warm blanket on me. Scared to death what is happening to me. And before we know it, my breathing starts getting bad again. My heart rate and heart monitor starts going off. Not to the point where I'm like dying, but it's going off like crazy because my heart is going really, really, really fast, which is not a good thing to happen. And the doctor and nurse come rushing in, saying, pushing me forward, and they say, Elena, you need to calm down. You need to breathe, take some deep breaths. And I'm trying, as my legs were both numb. I couldn't feel both my hands. I couldn't even feel my bladder. And I had to pee, which sucked. I never want to feel like that again. Oh my gosh. That was horrible. Anyway, sorry, too much information on that part. But I finally start slowly breathing, getting my breathing back to her, and I wake up and come back. And I start feeling everything again, except for my leg, of course. A new doctor comes in and checks on me and says, do you want to be admitted or do you want to go home? I say admitted because my heart rate is still high, and if something else happens, I don't want to have to turn around and come back and go through this whole thing again. So they admitted me for the night. My heart rate was up for the whole night. I did have some difficulty breathing during the night, but nothing extensive. So that is, and then I was released the next day because my heart rate was back to normal. So that is my story of how I almost died. As you can imagine, I'm very thankful. Very thankful to be here today to love this man and to be loved by so many that supported me getting through the afterwards therapy and everything. But here's the news that you guys need to know. The test results came back. Good news is I didn't have MS or disc disease. Yes, I had Raynaud's disease, but that was known for a while well, I didn't exactly know it, but I knew that I had circulation issues and I can't really be outside in the cold. So I have Raynaud's disease. If you don't know what that is, I will leave a link in the description below. The biggest news was I had a cyst on my spine. I don't know if you would be able to see it in the video, but
Probably not. I know where it is.
yeah, we can point it out for you. Here.
If you can actually see it.
Just point where it is.
About right here. It used to protrude a lot more. In my opinion, it kind of went down. I don't know if you put on a little weight back there. I was just seeing it again. It's not sticking out as much as it was.
Yeah. So that is where my cyst is. It is on T12, L1, and L2. And that's how big it is. It's not 3 cysts. It's that big. As for treatment, there really is no treatment possible for me for this, which is horrifying and scary because it changes my life a lot. Because the cyst is pressuring on my entire brain, to my spine, to my muscles. You know, having something on your spine is the worst thing ever to have. It's very dangerous and very bad to have. Anything grown on your spine that you can't remove is a bad thing. We do not know how I got this. We don't know if I was born with it. I do have scoliosis, and we don't know if that created the scoliosis. What else? Basically, my cyst, it does hurt at times, but I deal with it.
You're a strong girl.
I'm a very strong girl. I dealt with a tattoo removal. Yeah, I can handle it. And, basically, they can't just drain it or do surgery because I would die on the table. And for how small I am, it could do worse. I could probably not be able to speak, or I could be paralyzed for good and for real. Because when I did physical therapy for a long time, it gave me my life back, my leg back. My leg is never, and my right side are never going to be the same. But in this case, it's a miracle I'm still alive and breathing today. So I really do thank all those who helped me get through this horrible time and scary time of my life that I never thought I was going to be able to get through. And I never thought I was going to be able to walk again. I'm just thankful that I have my mom and my dad. And thanks to my sister who actually did help take care of me, and her friend Stefan. Thank you all for helping me through that hard time when my mom and dad were gone. And thanks to the love of my life for being there and talking to me through it all. And now that we have gone through that, we are together. And I love him because he's the only guy I know that would do something like that for a girl. And so thank you guys for listening to my story. If you guys do have questions, I can answer them. I'll leave links in the description below about my Raynaud's disease. I can't really leave a link in the description below about my cyst and what kind it is because I honestly don't know. I never actually saw a picture of my cyst, but I just know it's there and that I have one. And it's not cancerous right now, but you never know when it could. But anyways, I would also want to do a thank you to Charles Trippy from CTFXC for the support he gave me when I was in the hospital. He sent me a message saying get well soon. He's very famous on the vlogger YouTubers. I would like to say a big thank you, and I wish him the best to get through his chemo and cancer of his brain. So if you guys want to wish him some good luck and get well and all that stuff and prayers, that would be really awesome. Thank you all for listening to this. Love you guys. Why is he on there?
Well, that's pretty heavy.
anything. I'm pretty sure that like every teacher thought I was, especially Mr. Miller. He always thought I was the tiniest one in the class. Hey guys, Red Ninja here. It is February 26th, and the neurologist was today, and I did not get good news. We don't have a good diagnosis yet. I just got back from eating dinner, and I'm limping. This is how I have to walk, because I can't keep my balance, and my right side is very, very weak. Turn the light on a bit more so you guys can see me. So basically, my news is not great. We don't have a diagnosis. The doctor is very sweet, very nice, very gentle. At least tries to be. Doesn't mean to hurt me or anything. I'm using my left hand because this is really hard to vlog, and I can't seem to sit down. I also went to the hospital today. There we go. I don't know what's wrong with me, and it's not good. He's very concerned with my condition, but he's willing to work really hard to find out what's going on and find out if I have a severely bad disease. Since my blood results from when I was with Dr. Anderson on February 19th came out normal, he wanted to do more blood tests to double check my blood to make sure he didn't miss anything in my blood. But so far we're not getting good news with my leg. I can't balance. There's something my mom noticed I was doing actually before, and I didn't know this. I didn't know I was even doing it, and she mentioned it today at my appointment. I will show you what I did. I guess I've been putting my arm like this, and that's not normal, and I don't usually do that. And I also shuffle my feet, which my coworker Lori noticed I was doing at work, and my parents told me about the shuffling, but I never used to do that either, so that wasn't normal. So they both noticed something different about me, how I was walking and how I've been holding my arm, and I didn't even know I was doing it. Ow. I'm not taking painkillers, so I'm in a lot of pain and fighting it. I am vlogging much as I can. I did vlog a little bit at the hospital. Unfortunately, when I was at the hospital, I could not walk. I had to be in a wheelchair because it was too painful and difficult to walk, and I'm very weak. I haven't slept in days, probably since this happened, the Valentine's Day, or the night, 2 nights before that. He did a bunch of tests, like he checked my eyes, my legs, my feet, my hands. My right side is very, very weak, and it's really weak. And there's one thing he did that came out of surprise. He took this little thing and poked both my feet to make sure I could feel it. It was a needle, and it was very, very sharp, and he poked me a bunch. So I went to Fairview Ridges today at the hospital, and I got another lab work done, so I got more blood drawn. today, and tomorrow I have an appointment tomorrow at 1, and I am having an EMG done. It is to check my muscles. I don't know if it's really a painless procedure, but from what my dad looked up, it looks like a very painful procedure. Like they're gonna have to shock my nerves, I think, and they're gonna have to poke my muscle with a needle and have cords and wires all over me. I probably won't be able to vlog because the place says cell phones must be turned off. I could see if my mom can take a picture and stuff, but I'm not sure if I'll get any footage or video of this. I don't even know if I'll even want to, but I'm vlogging because I love to vlog and tell people about my life and what's going on, and to know that others aren't alone. And like Charles Trippy said to me yesterday in the message on a tweet, stay strong, and I've been doing that for days. My friends, my family have all been noticing I'm a big fighter. I'm in a lot of pain, and for how much pain I've been in, they're pretty surprised how I can deal with it without painkillers. It's very hard, very emotional, very painful, especially the part where I'm like really distressed and tired, weak, scared, lots of things going through my mind, staying positive and fighting pain, and a bunch of tests that I'm going to have done. I also am going to be having an MRI of my head and neck and my spine, my cervical spine, I think is what he said, which is what the urgent care also had said is an MRI, and I have to be checked for MS and other things, I guess. And if we don't find anything from those tests, they're gonna have to do a really painful one. I'm gonna have to have a spine tap, which is when they poke a needle in your spine and drain fluids out of it, and it's very painful, very uncomfortable. From what my coworkers and other friends have been telling me, it's very painful procedure, not fun, and just excruciating pain with that procedure, and you have to be awake, I guess, for it too. So I'm hoping I don't have to go through something like that. So we don't know any news about what's going on with me. I'm still very, very weak. I can't walk very far or very long. All I can really do is pray and hope that it's nothing serious. I've had so much in my life that I've gone through a lot of medical problems, and I keep going through more, and things keep coming up more, and kind of ruining a lot of things for me and my family and my friends. So yeah, I don't know what's going on yet, so I'm hoping we'll find some answers this week. The MRI will be in a day or two to schedule. We have to check with our insurance for that. So basically I'm just, you know, taking it easy, resting, walking as if I can, just to, you know, keep my leg going, and I'm just very, very tired, stressed, and very scared. Very scared. This is beyond what I ever thought I would ever get to happen to me. Out of every medical problem I've had or dealt with or still dealing with. So that is my news, everybody. Yeah, I am in my pajamas because I'm cold, and the doctor always noticed I am very, very, very freezing cold in my hands, and my hands did change color. They turned purple and blue. So yes, I will keep you guys all updated. Thank you guys for your prayers and so much for your thoughts. Your prayers mean a lot, and I'm gonna take one day at a time to get through this, and I'm very strong, and I'm going to stay strong, and I'm gonna keep positive, and I will keep you updated every day. I'm vlogging and keeping everybody updated because that's the only way I'm gonna remember. I'm losing my memory as well, so like I can't remember like where I put things anymore, or remember if like someone came home or not. So my memory is really beginning to be really bad, and so I'm hoping we find some answers, and I'm just hoping it's nothing serious. So thank you for your prayers, guys. Red Ninja is gonna go and chat and relax and keep calm. So peace and love. Red Ninja loves you all. Hey guys, Red Ninja here. I had my EMG. They were behind, so it took a little while to take. Never want to go through that again. I'm sorry. I'm tired, distressed, and in a lot of pain. So a lot of people don't know what an EMG is, so I'm gonna kind of explain it in my case, or how it felt to me. So what they do is I'm sorry. They put these wires and tape them to you, leg and arm. They do it, of course, slowly and separately, especially if you've never done it before. They put this big magnetic thing, I think, and they send electric shocks right through your arm and leg, and they do it a couple places on your leg and arm. They did it in my hand, they did it in my wrist, they did it in my arm, they did it up where my arm is, and I can't really move my arm because, yeah. They did my leg, my foot, my ankle, my knee, my leg, and it hurt really bad. I definitely would say I cried. I was really brave. I didn't cry for most of the time until, yeah. So, basically, sorry guys, I'm having a lot of pain. Trying not to cry. I was crying pretty hard a while ago, so I was actually so loud in the pain that my doctor came in to see what she was doing to me. Make sure he wasn't doing too much torture to me. She felt bad, and he was like, "I'm so sorry, these really do suck." The worst was the needles. Actually, both parts were really bad, but the needles, they're like the needles they use for acupuncture. Although to me, it did not feel like anything like that. They stick it in a muscle, like a bunch of places on your arm and leg, and it doesn't just sit there. They use their hand and move it around in the muscle and the nerve, and they when the needle's in your arm, they make you try to move like towards them or whatever they want you to do, and it hurts really bad because it pulls your nerves extremely. my leg was pretty much the worst. I'm glad they didn't put needles in my foot, but they did my leg, and I was not having it. I was very, very excruciating pain. They put it in my leg, and then they moved it, and they had me try to move my foot and my leg, like downwards, upwards. I couldn't really do much because I feel partially paralyzed right now, and I'm so weak. The electric shocks going through my leg hurt pretty bad. They did under my leg and over my leg. It hurt really bad. I would never want to go through that procedure again, ever. Tomorrow I have my MRI, and that is at 9:15 a.m. and we won't have results until next Friday, I believe. We'll have results, tests, and some information. I hope. I really don't want to go through the spine tap because I heard that it's going to be way worse than what I just went through, but I'm in so much pain, and I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cry. She said it would go away after a couple of seconds. It did not go away after a couple of seconds. I had to be wheelchaired out. Couldn't walk. So, yeah, that was really painful. Thank you guys for your prayers and thoughts, and I'll keep you guys updated. My sister Belle is gonna be with me tomorrow at my next appointment for my MRI because I can't do this anymore without her. I'm emotionally wrecked right now, and stressed, and tired, and exhausted, and so I'll keep you guys updated. I'm staying strong as I can. Peace and love. Ninja loves you. I would put my peace sign up, but my hand isn't usable right now. So, peace and love. I'm Red Ninja's gonna get some rest and listen to Tinkerbell, maybe fall asleep, hopefully. Hi guys, I'm going home. Everything is back to normal again, but we'll just have to keep watch on me very well. If you see cords in me, they're my heart monitors. So this is my room. That's my mom taking good care of me. My dad's on his way. So I'll be going home today, guys. And if you guys have questions, just leave a comment in the lower box below. So, Red Ninja signing off. Peace.